renaissance, an exciting, vibrant resurgence of new creators, new books, new stories, and new myths. We take a closer look at what the excitement is all about. This is State of the Art, and I'm Isa Calzado. Since 2005, the number of Comic-Con events in the country has more than doubled, and the number of new comics creators and new comics have multiplied with it.
At the start, it was very amateurish. A lot of gusto, a lot of passion. But quality-wise, it was, even the covers were black and white and photocopied. But as years went on, even the technology helped. Services became more affordable. Creatively, we're at the golden age.
Comic-Con has become many things. A showcase for independent comiqueros, a comics bazaar always bursting with books, toys, shirts, and merchandise. A meet and greet not only between fans and their favorite creators, but between several generations of comiqueros. But more than all these, Comic-Con has always been ground zero for each new generation of young, exciting comiqueros.
One of our guests, si Frances Martelino. So, indie comic artist, katawa lang yung works niya. He did the comics Hotdog Prince. It's a comedy. Ang cool doon sa work niya over the years. Nagulat na lang siya na nagkaroon.
Ay, so fuck! What are you doing?
Si Mel Casipit. He started joining contests ng Comic-Con. Tapos ngayon kilala na siya online. He's very busy doing caricatures, does books na rin. He illustrates books.
Comic-Con has always believed in the potential of the medium and in nurturing that potential, even when no one else did.
Our new job is to determine what is comics' role in this new generation, in this new media landscape.
When State of the Art returns, we take a closer look at some of the books that are creating a lot of buzz and talk about the creators behind them. We have a legacy of unforgettable stories and characters in Philippine comics. The likes of Kengkoy, Jezebel, Captain Barbell. And today, we have a new generation of creators extending that legacy. American superhero comics and Japanese manga have always been the dominant influences on local independent comics. But with each year, more and more creators are emerging with unique and diverse and distinctively Filipino voices.
In terms of story and what a Filipino narrative is, I always struggle to pin that down. It's something that connects with our culture specifically. It's a story that if you told it, you shouldn't be able to set it in Tokyo or Bangkok. It has to happen here because of the circumstances that surround us.
Stephen Segovia is the latest in a long line of Filipino artists who have not only found high-profile work in mainstream American superhero comics, but have also gained a significant fan base because of it. Like many Filipino artists working for Marvel or DC, Segovia is fond of throwing in cameos of the Philippines in his work. The latest of these was a major scene set in EDSA for an issue of Wonder Woman, written by James Robinson.
So nung nakuha ko yung script, nabasa ko na sabi ni James Robinson, yung scene gaganapin sa Philippines. Pinili ko yung EDSA. So ginawa ko, naglagay ako ng mga jeep, naglagay ako ng mga bystanders, naglagay ako ng mga ososero, mukha ng pictures, habang naglalaban, yung nadidistinguish na, uy, sa Pilipinas to, Pinoy talaga to, chinelas, mga yan.
Back in the day, the comics was published weekly only in mainstream publications such as Liwayway and Filipino Funny Comics. Today, the independent self-published scene is thriving and evolving. For the last few years, Carl Joe Javier has overseen the publication of a diverse range of independent comics under the Anino imprint. A fan first and an editor second, one of his first projects was 66. The book is a superhero comic, a 66-year-old superhero.
It's really Superman. Superman is an old former OFW who has come home and he runs a sari-sari store. And his Lois Lane is his also elderly wife who is in decline.
The new local comics have veered away from the traditional Western superhero mold, diversifying into a wide range of genres. Apple Santa Maria makes short, funny strips that are deceptively simple and deceptively simplistic. Poopo the Cute and many other is his most recent collection.
It's like Dada poetry in comic book form. Sometimes it's just so linguistically inventive but dumb at the same time. It's literally toilet humor. But then it's still elevated and then it's still figuring things out and it's testing what you can do on the page and then testing what you can do across pages.
Sandali by Mikey Jimenez and Mikey Marchan belongs to a subgenre called the biographical comic. It is one of the most dominant subgenres in Japanese manga and has long been gaining a lot of traction in the US. The vignettes in Sandali, some of which run only a few pages long, essentially reads half like a diary and half like a minimalist short story collection. It was one of last year's best-received comics.
Yung pinaka-favorite ko dun sa stories na nagawa nun is Present. Kasi marami akong experiences sa lumabas through that because I used to work sa isang BPO. From there, yun nakuha ko yung mga overtime, mga ganyan na experience.
Yung style ko is, it's bordering on realistic, pero it's not too detailed to take attention away from the story. I think it's a good thing na nag-veer away tayo dun sa foreign influences natin. I think it's important na magkaroon tayo ng sariling voice, sariling identity dun sa comic medium.
Deb Balagtas is the pseudonym of Emiliana Campilan. Her funny and often irreverent and always socially aware comics work has been a fan favorite for years now. The publication of her first book, Deb Balagtas, Walang was hands down the comics event of last year.
When I started talking to her, she was putting out strips. And she continues to put out strips. You go online and that's what you find. And then she said like, I'm gonna try something that's not what we talked about, which would make most editors freak out. And so, because I am like most editors, I freaked out. Oh, but I had to trust. Like, I had to trust that she had this vision for her work. Then, you know, she starts sending files, and it's crazy.
Mas may diverse na voices sa local comic scene ngayon. Marami pa rin manga influenced and superhero influenced na na comics. Pero right now, mas maraming lumalabas na more parang indie style, very personal yung mga kwento, very emotionally driven yung mga narratives, socially relevant and socially aware ng mga kwento, which I think it's a good thing kasi nagsispill over yung medium sa mga current social issues.
When we come back, we talk with two prominent crossover and controversial icons in the comic scene. Mervyn Malonzo's Tabi Po was the crossover success story of independent comics, going from webcomic to mainstream publishing to TV. Takes an overused local genre, the aswang story, but flips the POV of the narrative, then inverts the genre even further by setting the story in a period setting that should be familiar to practically every Filipino. It also features some of the luscious, most beautiful painted art to grace local comics pages.
Nag-start siya kasi meron ako, mahilig kasi ako sa horror talaga. Ang focus ko dun sa aking aswang story, yung bida ko, aswang. So parang pinapakita ko yung perspective nila, ano ba yung kaibahan ng mga aswang sa mga tao.
Tabi po is an aswang story from the perspective of the aswangs, set in the world Jose Rizal created in his novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. Malonzo is a self-professed fan of Rizal and considers Tabi po as something of an homage, right down to naming his lead character, Elias.
Paborito ko yung knowledge feeling ni Rizal. Para kami ng mga tema na parehong gusto sabihin about sa religion, about sa gobyerno, about sa revolution, ganyan siguro.
When it comes to humble beginnings, you can't get any humbler than Malonzo. All he wanted was to write and draw his own aswang comic. And when he finished it, he put it up online for free. Tabi po has gone on to become not only a best-selling series of books, but a TV series as well. And Malonzo has embarked on successful collaborations with other artists, establishing his own online store and recently his own publishing house, Halia Publishing, all while keeping his independence as a creator. The Tabi po comics, incidentally, are still available online. Paul Medina's Pugad Baboy, published in leading broadsheets and a news website, is one of our longest-running and most beloved comic strips. The tremendous success of Pugad Baboy has turned its creator, Paul Medina, into one of our certified comics superstars. Here to celebrate the 30th anniversary of his iconic strip, he remains the darling of the Comic-Con.
Nilabas ko yung Triple X. Kasi yung X, Double X, na Triple X ko ngayon. Dito ko nilaunch sa Comic-Con, Summer Comic-Con, 30 years, ganun na ako katanda. Ginagawa ko nung talaga fat jokes lang eh. Nilimit yun eh. Ginawa ko na lang siyang isang community para mas marami akong material na makuha. Mas maraming characters na ma-introduce na pwedeng represent yung bawat sektor ng society natin. So, hindi ako mauubusin ng story. Sa first decade pa lang, naghahanap na ng bagong material yung mga readers. Kaya, minsan, pinupush ko ng konti yung envelope. Tapos, nagkakatrouble ako ng konti dahil sa akin parang walang bawal eh. Walang bawal na material na pwedeng tangkilikin.
Pugad Baboy started out as a gag strip, but over the years, its fictitious neighborhood has become a microcosm of Philippine society, and Medina has used it as a lens to look at our socio-political realities. But funny, in its newest iteration, Medina is going back to basics, trying to regain some of that original Pugad Baboy flavor. More jokey, less controversial, but still observant.
Napansin ko kasi yung mga fans bumibili ng book 1 ko eh. Yun yung pinaka-wholesome na book ko eh.
Comfortable po ba kayo sa pagbalik sa ganung estilo?
Okay din, kasi binabalansi ko rin naman eh. Minsan kailangan gawing mas dark. Kasi mas malalabas mo yung point mo kung minsan nakaka-offend ka ng konti. Mas mapapansin ang tao. Bumabalik yung dating glory days ng anak ng Philippine comics. Kasi yung 60s yata 70s, malakas ang industriya ng comics. Tapos nawala yun nung nauso yung nung mapasok na ni-influx na ng mga Marvel, DC Comics. Mas gusto na ng mga kabataan yung quality ng art nila. Tapos ngayon, naglabasan yung mga sila Edgar Tadeo, sila Gia Alangilan, na pang Marvel din ang quality ng trabaho. Nung lumabas yan, nagkaroon ng resurgence sa industriya ng comics.
Up next,
Finger lang. Okay.
we've seen Mars Ravelos Darna soar in comics, television shows, movies, and even in a ballet. But this year, she is at the center of something rather unique, a brand new musical. Darna is, without a doubt, our most iconic and certainly our most beloved superhero. She may be 70 years old, but Darna continues to evolve, staying relevant generation after generation. Here's a Darna for millennials.
Ding Ang Bato is told from the perspective of Narda's devoted brother. From his viewpoint, he's telling the story of her journey from ordinary, humble girl to a superhero. I think what's also important is that our version of Ding is deaf. The deaf have a different way of looking at the world. And it's ironic because this is a dance musical.
This is physical theater. That means it relies so much on the dancing and the movement. 70% of this is dance.
I like the whole spin on it him being deaf, but how will the people hear his lines?
They don't. They have to. They have to watch his sign. And that's an interesting thing with sign, because sign language apparently we thought was just is just like any other language, has its own vocabulary.
Of De La Salle College of St. Benil, Ding Ang Bato is a collective effort that brings together students, alumni, and seasoned theater professionals.
We call it urban dystopia. It's like an imagined urban landscape which has been taken over by digital technology and fake news. The purveyor of this fake news is Valentina. And in this version, the snakes that grow out of her scalp practically are the purveyors of the way the poison are in the news.
Interactions of Darn and Ding in the play, how different was that for you?
I have to be a little bit more sensitive because, of course, they don't hear the music. So they have like different ways of, connecting to people. This is the Malignos. Valentina.
Ganda ng costume ni Lola. Yes.
And this is Narda's costume. This is the costume of the other Darna, the alternate.
Okay.
This is Valentina. There.
Ba, may chance tayo na.
Nice.
Darna!
Nice.
Hindi kasha. Alam nyo na guys, hindi ako pwedeng magdarna. Ihagit mo ako sa gitna ng dagat, itapon sa liblib na lupain, bilahin ng ibo-ibo.
I'm a music major and I'm more of singing sa other styles, hindi yung pang theater, jazz, gano'n. So, this is something new for me, theater. Here sa play na to, yung mga music na marinig is talagang malaki. Malaki yung dating ng songs. Mabigat. Hindi siya mabilis kantahin kasi as Narda, yung songs ni Narda, she's like flying. So yung songs ni Narda, lahat mas high notes.
I think it's a mix of different dances. It's more urban. So there's hip hop, hindi ako hip-hop dancer. I asked one of the dead si Carlos, ano magagawa mo from here to here in 1/8? And then he gave me something. Sabi ko, type ko, okay. It's also good na hindi lagi kami ang yun ang pinaka-exciting moment also na everything's possible.
What Serenus is doing is basically doing movements even without the music. So it's very raw and very real. In just a small gesture, napapalaki niya. Nagugulat ako na wow, pwede pala yun, gano'n. And then yung use of body niya iba, iba yung shape na nagagawa.
As a deaf person, usually the challenge will be with the choreography because as I could not hear the music, I really have to make sure I follow the steps, the counting, and using vibration, like when do we enter, what's the next step that we should execute. For me, Darna is a role model. It's a role model for empowerment, whether it's for women, for children, for everyone. So she's someone that we could look up to.
Darna for me is a symbolism of truth and justice and love. Pinipili niya ibang tao muna bago ng sarili niya.
Darna on a personal level represents to me how power could be magnified, power could be used to fight evil, and how power could be used in a way that would help other people.
Relevant. It will continue to champion the voiceless, the invisible, and uphold the good. Just like the Philippine comics, it will always spark magic. I'm Isa Calzado, and this has been State of the Art.
Namutan lang. Naniwalatan. Ano mo? Tawa-tawa singgala. Saan ka pumanayo yan? Wala dito yun. Hindi ko lang.
Together, we take the lead. This